see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast of them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hi there, welcome to Red State Update. My name's Jackie Proles.
Jackie?
Why?
My name is Dunlap. I'm here to present the news. Unfiltered, unvarnished, facts from two people, I'm talking about you and me, who spend a full week and oftentimes 10 to 13, 14 days in between our podcasts combing America's most trusted news sites to bring you our takes on everything that Fox News has been talking about, OAN, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, listen to Joe Rogan just to get sort of a dumb guy take on everything. We're here, Jackie, today. We're going to talk about the Durham report and Hillary Clinton and Russiagate. We're going to talk about crack pipes. New York Times is not talking about the crack pipes thing. Why? New York Times is not talking about Hunter Biden, I guess. I don't know. I don't read the New York Times. I stopped doing Wordle as soon as it went over there. Now I do Patriotal. Only conservative words approved by the nation's most backward school boards. There's a list of three 5-letter words that are patriotic, don't stir nobody up, and don't take the Lord's name in vain. And those three words rotate, and you never know which one you're going to get. It's a great game. Patriotal. Check it out. You probably will get a virus.
Patriotal?
And the truckers, Jackie, of course, America's newest heroes, Canadian truckers. This is the news that we're here to talk about today, Jackie. It's Hillary Clinton on that crack pipe and the truckers on that crack pipe and Hunter Biden. That may actually be Hunter Biden on crack pipe, man.
Well, that's drug addiction. You shouldn't make too much fun, but yeah.
I'm just saying what they say.
I know what you're saying, all that, Well, let's talk about, if we're going to talk about all that, we got to talk about heroic Putin taking what's his, doing, standing up, being a
America's newest hero.
Yeah, true leader.
Russian Premier Vladimir Putin, or whatever he is.
Yeah, you want to see how a true ruler takes care of business. You roll up the tanks and say, it's mine, and you take what's yours and do what's right. Yeah, you watch old Tucker. I can't think of anybody Tucker liked as much as Putin. I don't come to mind. Hannity used to love him the most, but I think Tucker does now.
Oh, Tucker loves him. Carlson loves Putin. Yeah. The only way he can love Putin more is if Putin showed up in an 18-wheeler. They've come for what's mine.
Well, let me say it right now, and I ain't making light of the situation, and I feel terrible for the people of Ukraine, but if you want to take it down a notch, if you want to de-escalate, pull them tanks out, Putin, roll them big trucks up there, honk them horns. You get just as much attention as you get now. Just hopefully no bloodshed.
Jackie, that is the art of diplomacy right there. Jackie, the art of diplomacy.
Trying to help whatever I can do, every little thing, yeah.
Was there ever a trucker movie? We've talked a lot about trucker movies on this podcast and our Redneck Matinee podcast. Not a dead podcast, still very much living in that. I think about getting back to it every day. But I don't know how much time we have left in this world. So if we're going to finish it up, we probably should get going on it. And now truckers are back in the news, so it seems like the perfect time. Nothing's changed, really, in the 3 years since we stopped doing it. So Vladimir Putin, was there ever a trucker movie in the 80s, 70s, maybe even early 90s, Glasnost era trucker movie, which would have been late, but maybe, where there's a Russian trucker in it?
Should be a bad guy rushing a trucker somewhere in one of them. It's got
Or by the 90s, it would have been a good guy. Like,
well, yeah,
before Good Buddy.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been, it's a Russian bear. It's a Russian bear coming through for. That's just Yakov Smirnoff. He should have been in a trucker movie.
Well, he was the Russian, go-to Russian there in the 90s. He was the sweet, like no better Russian to American than him. He was all of them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to be a beloved Russian, you show up and you go, I love this country. And then you go to Branson. I mean, that's how you are beloved to anybody.
And he stopped everywhere in between on the way to the top. He did it. He was in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, he's every which way. Yeah. And good for him. Yeah.
Good for him. And good for you, Jackie, for trying to. I hope that by the time this podcast comes out, Putin's not in Ukraine. This just sounds even worse than it does right now. But trucks on the border. Let's get them trucks just like the sequel to the song Convoy, what was it? Rubber Duck Around the World. They put the trucks on boats. Look up sequel to Convoy song because they didn't make one to the movie.
They did part 2 song, right? Is that what
part 2 of the song? I think it's called Rubber Duck Around the World, something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't do part 2 of the movie because it would have killed several people, all the main stars, except Ernest Borgnine. He would have been fine.
I don't think
you couldn't hurt him.
Sam Peckinpah at the time was able to stand up at all.
No.
That for part 2, for half a Convoy, he couldn't get out of bed. Had directed laying there either from a bar or in his bed, recovered. But by part 2, no, he couldn't go nothing. He no standing up.
And we have talked about this a lot in the Convoy episode of Redneck Matinee. We also talk a lot about freedom and those things. It doesn't make any sense. I was trying to figure out. People love truckers. In this country, we just love truckers. We associate truckers with freedom and hitting the road. I guess it's driving and loud horns and being shirtless.
That really hadn't faltered since, from the beginning of the 70s. I mean, people, thank goodness, cleaned up a little bit better. They weren't as shaggy, but, we always loved them, didn't mind if it was Chris Christopherson's driving it, if it was Sylvester Stallone's driving it.
Yeah.
All of them go down. We loved them. There wasn't one of them that we didn't love. That's the truth. Yeah.
We've stopped loving Chris Christopherson and Sylvester Stallone for the most part. I mean, sure, if you say Chris Christopherson, people go, and listen to this podcast, go, yeah, he's cool. Or somebody might go, yeah, I remember. But for the most part, I hope he's not listening to this. It's no offense, but nobody gives a shit in America 2022. I'm not saying this is good about Chris Christopherson. They should give shits about Chris Christopherson. And when he dies, he's still alive, right?
Yeah.
When he dies, everybody will be like, I loved Chris Christopherson. I loved him so much. But right now, and I'm saying we're a sorrier country for not loving Chris Christopherson more. We've put truckers above Chris Christopherson, and I think we've kind of lost the plot there. I mean, part of what we like truckers for is because we thought there was a lot of Chris Christopherson in them. We didn't know they were just going to take the kids out of school and go ruin a bunch of Canadians' sleep. It's kind of like protesting. Like, oh, it's so cold up there in Canada. How's everybody up just standing out on the streets being so cold and so frozen? Because they got heaters in the damn truck. It's like protesting at fucking Chick-fil-A. You just sit in the drive-thru and run the air conditioner. It's sort of the same thing.
And get a delicious meal at the end of it.
Because they were having cookouts. I do think that there's some people. Look, we all got fucked by this COVID thing.
All right.
I don't think everybody did their best towards each other. The CDC maybe has slipped a little bit here and there. I tired and confused and fucked.
Hey.
And you got bad actors. This is me defending truckers so that nobody drives a truck through my house. I think there's some bad actors that swoop in and take advantage of the fucking trauma and confusion. Of course, there's bad actors. Their names are Facebook. And so everybody's more confused already. And then you got some people showing up saying, well, here's the Confederate flag. Like, well, I just thought I don't want my kid to wear a mask. I know the teacher got COVID 3 times, but still, I didn't wear a mask when I was in 3rd grade. And I had a Confederate flag on the General Lee back in. So I guess it's the same thing. I think everybody's just confused. Now, I'm not saying it's okay to be confused if it results in Confederate flag. I'm just saying I'm trying to find some sympathy in my heart for these dumb fucks.
Hey, watch your mouth. Yeah, I don't understand. Everybody on every which way side or whatnot. This COVID did a number on all of us. Everybody's a little bit crazy one way or another. I mean, there's people defending Joe Rogan that I never thought in a million years would, and I don't think they would unless they weren't half crazy living this way for so long.
I'm not. What do you think the vaccine's going to do to you? Is it going to make you live in a truck in Canada? Like, that's pretty extreme. And that's without the vaccine. So I don't know if you get the vaccine, I don't know, you get to keep your job. That sounds, things seem to, and you don't die. Things seem to pretty much keep going on as is. You don't get the vaccine. Well, I'm just going to hang out with these swastika people for a little bit.
And be a complete butthole. Yeah. If you know.
Freedom.
Now, to be clear here, I think, what is it? Like 90% of Canadian truckers, unfortunately, got vaccinated, and most of them at work. I know there's vaccinated people showing up to this thing, too. That like I said, everybody crazy. There's some truckers.
Everybody's crazy.
Yeah, that are actually vaccinated. It's like, no, I'm just here. I don't think necessarily everybody I'm glad I got vaccinated. But I mean, what?
In Convoy, they're like, it's all about like freedom, but nobody knows what that means. Nothing has changed. They're following Chris Christopherson, and they're like, everybody's following you. And he's like, well, I don't know what for. I'm just in front. But only in this case, instead of Chris Christopherson being in front, it's like an alt-right guy who wants to hang Justin Trudeau. It's like 6 groups fighting over how to make the most money from fake GoFundMes.
And he didn't necessarily start this. He climbed over all the other truckers to get up in the front. I'm sure who started wasn't even quite sure. I think I know why I'm here. And then this alt-right, whoever, well, let me tell you why you're here.
They alt-right people do it. The thing is, everybody is so fucking nuts that they were alt-right people up there in Canada doing other truck protests that nobody gave a shit about. For some reason, somehow this caught on. I want to say it's just like Russia Facebook groups. I want to say it's just like all the crazy people and nobody. But yeah, I mean, even like we've been on here cussing anti-vax people and anti-mask people the whole time. A lot of them are nice people who let you, go on. You only got that one can of detergent. I got a whole buggy full. You go on in front of me. I may have just infected you now. We should just go back to cussing them. Trying to defend anybody these days is
I don't know.
Minefield.
I love everybody's opinion on protesting, how that just went from one way to the other. Rand Paul, my particular favorite, he loves it. He said, I hope to see this all over the place here in the United States. Now, Rand Paul, and I don't know about Kentucky in particular, but probably tried to. Here in Tennessee, we sure did, and I think other states did. They hated protesters so much that my God, if they're on the road and I'm late for work, should be my legal right to run over whichever protesters I want to for whatever causes I don't like. I have every reason to run them, to murder them. They trying to pass that law. Now these truckers are blocking the whole damn thing, stopping hundreds of people from getting on with their lives, and they love every bit of this. And let's look at the protest. I'm talking about one protest is about parents, because everybody's somebody's child. Excuse me, I don't care about age. I ain't saying children. Parents losing their children, being shot down in the street regularly by police officers, raise all sorts of hell over that, as we should. This is about something we kind of know, maybe a little bit of, I don't want a shot, first off. Don't want no one to give me no shot. Maybe I'm a white supremacist, sort of, kind of. Freedom! I love these fellas. Shut down every road in the state. Supposedly they're trying to get it organized here. The truckers shut down the State of the Union or whatever the hell else. Yeah, if you believe what, again, Facebook, go back to that. Pitiful.
Send Rand Paul to Russia.
He likes to go there. Remember, last 4th of July, that's where he went over there.
Put him on a boat with the rubber duck going around the world, Ukraine. Let the trucks off air. Solve everybody's problem. They cannot ruin truckers for us, Jackie. I can't let it happen.
No.
The smartest thing they ever did was getting trucks involved. I'll say that because they're like, this is some serious freedom now. Before it was just regular freedom, like racist, stupid. Now there's trucks involved, so it's cool. They can't have trucks. I can't have them. They just can't have them, Jackie. It ain't fair.
Don't let them, don't let them, Like I said, 90% of Canadian truckers out there, other than going down the roads they're blocked from, still doing the job. I like them truckers. Can't we like them too, at least?
Here's another confusing thing, Jackie. As long as we're talking about the conflicts in our hearts this moment, I'm confused. I don't like admitting this. Sometimes I get a little confused. Yes, the man, I almost hate to say his name. People say y'all talk about him all the time. But I mean, if we just say he on this podcast, you know who we're talking about. It's Trump. He was a blight on the history of our nation. Yes. And our history of our nation has a few blights on it. He was a real big one. In a moment, yes, when we needed to see the best versions of ourselves, he sold us on being the worst versions of ourselves. He made damn sure that white supremacy and anti-democracy and sexual violence were not going nowhere. Yet in the quieter moments, Jackie, in those privileged seconds when I can calm my brain down and sit for a minute with a specific story about Trump in a toilet. Sometimes I think, how did we not like this guy? And then I remember the blight on the history and the racism and the rape and everything else.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the toilet guy is good, but it's hard to overcome the other stuff.
Why does he not want people? Well, because it's illegal. I understand that. But other than that, why didn't he do that on TV live? He would have won a few more people over. There were some people who were completely through with him at one point. Like, all right, Ukraine bribing it. What the? Anyway, enough. If he'd have got on TV, say, look, I messed up. And just all the while ripping up files, whatever it is, have it say important or whatever, winding it up, putting it in the toilet, and then flushing that handle and laughing as it goes down. he might. I mean, for at least 5 seconds, he would have won us over. For 5 seconds, that'd be it. I'd remember the race. I'd come back. Don't get me wrong.
I know. We're just humans. We're weak. We're weak, privileged humans.
Weak Americans, yeah. That's one way where Americans are weak, right there. That's
love toilets.
Yeah.
Love toilets. He would have won, definitely. I maybe there would have been a few people that said, I just didn't like a flushing thing. But I can't imagine who they were. They would have been like, I don't like the flushing thing, but I like his views on the economy. And he would have won. He would have won a lot more people over.
Yeah.
Like Biden's not gonna we think you need to flush something too, sir. Come on, man. I'm not gonna flush. Like you can't even get Biden to flush when he needs to.
Shut up.
See, look at how weak we are. We're so fucking weak.
Shut your mouth.
We're terrible people,
Mr. President.
Yeah.
You forgot. You forgot the. Never mind. I get it. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. At some point in your life, it goes back. It starts out like you ain't gonna tell a baby to clean themselves up.
No.
And on the other end of it, it's like, I'll just flush it myself.
I bet there were presidents that they had someone that did that specifically for them. Lyndon Johnson, you can't tell me he didn't have a flusher.
Oh, it's a power play, I'm sure. I'm sure it's a power play.
Take care of it for me. What does he mean? Oh,
go look in there, will you? Go look in there.
Go look in and take care of it for me. What does he mean? Oh, he just means flush it. Oh, that's all. Oh, thank God.
We're back in Toilet Town, everybody. Thanks for listening to our podcast for 10 years. Toilet Town again. Well, President of Toilet Town. We did miss the toilet story. We really had to. Toilets came up a lot in his.
He brought it up himself. It wasn't like always the New York Times. I mean, he himself.
That's true.
Did, people have to flush it. What was it? Had to flush the toilet 16 times or something. I don't know.
It's always a toilet.
Yeah.
It's always a toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Trump, denying it. That it needs to be like everything else it does. Say, yeah, I did that. What are you going to do about it? Well, it's illegal. And, I guess nothing.
So his accountants, he got fired by his accountants. I just realized we talked about this a little bit already, but I'm just realizing lawyers leaving, sure, but accountants leaving, that's a real bad sign.
That's not good. Yeah. Especially when you got district attorneys looking into your finances and,
I guess there's some Trump versus the rest of the Republicans. McConnell, there's supposedly a bunch of Republicans who are hoping that Trump goes down, but they won't actually. He's got no support, but they won't actually say anything publicly about it. Folks, we're not actually going to talk about Hillary Clinton and the damn crack pipes and the Durham report. If y'all are waiting for that, I should have made that clear at the beginning. I'm not really going to. We don't really know what any of that is.
What it is, it's a story to say on, run on Fox News when, his accountants are jumping ship because they don't want to go to jail. Accountants who occasionally do go to jail, trust me, they don't like going to jail. They don't want to go to jail.
That's how they got damn untouchables.
And racketeering is what I hear they're trying to get him for or something like that. People saying that's worse than ever being impeached. And of course, he don't care about being impeached one way or another. Maybe he did at the time. He forgot that he was by now. But when you start messing with that and you can't get a loan or can't get that, of course, ain't no bank in this country give them a loan in the air. That's Deutsche's banks over there. And all that's where all that money wrapped up. But I don't know. Maybe he can't pay him back or nothing like that as long as his accountants ain't. What they say, there's a decade of stuff that ain't reliable. We ain't got nothing to do with it.
It sounds like our podcast.
Yeah. I don't think we can go to jail one way or the other.
Well, how's Trump going to pay anybody back with inflation as bad as it is?
And no accountants.
He should be a truck. He loves to be a when's truck gonna go to the truck. Oh God. Why did I even say it? He's going.
It'll happen now. Why'd you
fuck?
You just did it. Remember, they used to have to roll them up in front of the White House. He'd get in them and hit the horn.
Oh,
now Canada sounds great to him. Why not? Yeah, get up there. They're gonna love it here.
No, they're gonna do it down here. There'll be one of them at work. So I guess it's all over the world, like rubber duck. It's not as good as song. Got a lot of accents in it.
They got to change the whole vaccine message, though. Because remember, he like it now. Now he knows it. Like, wait a second, people who love me and vote for me are dying.
Well, up there, they don't even know. Some of them, you hear a lot of people. Some of them think it's all about the vaccine. Other people think they're going to hang Justin Trudeau.
That's true. Just make it about his will be the stolen election. That's all you need. Even if it is about something else, guess what? That's what it's going to wind up being.
That's what it's going to wind up being if he's there. It's just a damn letters to the editor, except crazier. And everybody's driving a truck. And they don't have letters to the editor anymore. So now I guess you got to. I listened to the damn a bunch of podcasts about this, Jackie, trying to do research. Don't ever do that. And there's a lot of people. I mean, there's lots of crooks. It's a grift. People making money on this.
Oh, yeah.
A racist trying to figure out how to do that. Lots of people trying to make their, one old boy from up there, crazy conservative Canadian, and got on Tucker Carlson, just fucking shitting himself. So happy. Almost embarrassing, but not really compared to everything else they do. And so these people, all they want to do is, I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying? Where was I going with this? I listened to a bunch, and they all think that they're heroes. We all think we're heroes. We all think we're acting out. I don't know what this is. Is it? Do we need like a? I feel like Archie Bunker watching Gloria and Meathead go to some sit-in and just be like, geez, they need a job is what they need. That's how I feel about all these people. Like, wow, they got so much time on their hands. They think they're doing, yeah, Mr. Big Shot, I'm fighting for these kids' freedom so they can enjoy the rest of their lives. This is the way they're telling you what you can and can't do. It's not right. It's not right. Like, what? This is what's not right. Like, what about? They shot a bunch of people in the street. I guess then we go, we're going to fight. We're going to do what's right. I put up a black square on my Instagram. I really took a stand today. I guess everybody's just, everything. There's just a lot of shit wrong and nobody knows what to do. It's like, well, I'm going to start a podcast. I guess, Jackie, what we need to do, there's two things we could do.
Yeah.
To be real heroes in this day and age, real American heroes like Putin or the Canadian truckers, is like we got to either get a truck or we got to shut this podcast down.
Wow. Can we do both? I hope you're still with us. Hope you're still listening. If you are, we appreciate it. We thank you kindly for listening to us this much. We're going to keep you maybe, another, 30 minutes, something like that? How many minutes more you think we'd be doing this?
Let's give everyone some time back today, Jackie. Let's see if we can wrap this Zoom meeting up and give folks some of their time back.
All right, we can try to do that. But don't forget, there's also 20 extra minutes after this, however long this is. But that one's over on the Patreon. That's
it, Jackie, at patreon.com/Red State Update.
Yeah.
That's where you go if you want to see what's up with giving us some extra money. Things are tough these days, folks. This inflation really got everybody down. But I tell you what, I feel you. And I know how hard it is in this day and age.
Yeah.
I hear you. I recognize that there's a lot of pain in this country. So for your $5, we're giving you 20 extra minutes with Jackie and Dunlap. That's our inflation pledge to you. We're going to give you 20 extra minutes. If you give us $5 or more a month over on patreon.com, that's our inflation pledge to you. 20 extra minutes with Jackie and Dunlap. Now, that's at least. Now, sometimes maybe, if our supplier gives us a few more good cuts of meat, maybe we give you 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
Sure. It goes a little further. But let's not just
stuff falls off a truck sometimes, Jackie,
Let's not make this exclusive just to these. Let's not make this pledge just for the $5. Because there's some people out there listen to this and say, well, hell, I'd like to help, but I don't want to hear a whole extra 20 minutes of it. Can I give like $1? Sure you can.
Mm-hmm.
Why, sure you can. We don't want to leave you out. You were going to be doing this for you. You always got this. If you just want to give $1, 50 cents, however much, you don't got to give $5 or more a month. And you sure as hell ain't got to listen to 20 extra minutes, but it's there. And we will pledge to you that it will continue to be there as long as we continue this drive.
And that's our inflation pledge to you.
Yes. Inflation drive pledge. Well, you say drive, it sounds like truckers driving somewhere, and I don't want necessarily.
That used to be cool.
Well, it still kind of is, but not.
It is cool. It is cool to be a trucker.
Yeah.
Legal. You can use speed legally. I think.
I got to look at Convoy again. It's been a while since I've seen it. Not a whole lot's changed, really. Like I said, other than cleaning up a little bit, I guess.
I grew up, everybody in my class wanted to be truckers. You say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Trucker? Just that era, Yeah. You know how kids, and they all realized that dream, except for me.
Well, a lot of kids, too, they get excited because they want to drive, when they're young. But then once they get old enough and start driving, like, well, there ain't nothing to this,
Maybe
so go over there. If you give us, what were you going to say? Go on. I'm trying to finish.
I don't know. I was just saying maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to make my dream come true.
Well, that's true, yeah. It's always time to make your dream come true.
Truck lap,
yeah.
So I guess I need somebody. If I'd like $1, that's great. Thank you for helping. You don't, and your extra bonus is not having to listen to any more of us. $5 or more a month, you have to listen to 20 extra minutes or more every month. But if you give enough for me to lease a big rig and maybe go truck driving school,
no. That's a waste of money. That's a waste. Like, if you give us $5 or more to keep doing this and do 20, we can handle that. That again, that's our pledge to you. That's the inflation pledge. We will now stop doing that. But if you tell people, give me money to go to trucker school and expecting you to, well, you didn't say graduate. You did not say graduate.
I ain't trying to rip nobody off. If y'all help me be a trucker, I'll drive by your house and I'll blow the horn.
No, but you ain't going to. There ain't no way.
You don't know that.
That's throwing money in the street. Of course, some people say listen to 20 extra minutes of us is throwing money in the street too. So I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Patreon can't handle that amount, they go to wherever they give money for the truckers now. Go Give Go or Eagle Go. Eagle
right
Give.
Right now, it's not a good time to tell people to go give money to the truckers. All right, just right now.
Just me specifically.
Well, say you then, but don't. Just right now. Later on, yes, it'll be safe someday to donate to truckers again. But at the moment, you don't know where money's going. You don't just. I just advise you not against it for the time being. But hopefully, we'll have that cleared up soon. And instead of giving us $5, you give it to a hardworking trucker. It's not blocking the, bridge. Well, not only do we have the support from all of our wonderful Padron listeners and supporters, we also have to use local sponsors here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Local sponsors, that's right. Sponsors not far from where we're sitting right now doesn't let you know that. You can throw a rock to some of them, not all of them, but some of them, because there's so many restaurants, so many inventors, I guess you call it entrepreneur, right? That's how you say it.
Yeah.
And you taught me a new word, pop-ups.
Yeah, yep. Pop-ups.
No, pop-ups or popcorn, whatever it is. A lot of them. And they're all here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So if you're from Murfreesboro, of course, it's going to come in handy to you, of course. And if you ain't, just have to be traveling through, you're going to hear a thing or two about a nice place to visit, a nice place to eat, nice place to go look at, something, unique, special to this area. And that's why we love our local sponsors. That's why we love having them. I had a good sponsor last week, and I didn't expect that. I was the last person that thought I'd be having them again this week, doesn't it? You know that?
Why were you the last person?
Because it's a Valentine's thing. Valentine's Day over, right? Remember? Everybody who went with the sweetheart, whatever they did, they had some chocolate, they'd watch a funny movie, watch a Pretty Woman, whatever it is you like to do on Valentine's Day.
Is that what people do now, is watch Pretty Woman on Valentine's Day? Still?
I don't.
Oh, sure.
I've seen it. I've seen it a long time ago. Sure, it's cute. It has moments. It's funny. But I did watch it this year. No, not this year. Doing something else.
How often have you seen Pretty Woman?
I ain't seen it like 100 times, but it's on that time of year. If you flip around the channel, you're going to see like, yeah, there he is, getting a necklace or whatever it is. I like a man that works, dresses her up nice. Nice Latino man. He's good. I like him in it. It's just something cute and funny. It's nothing like I'd look for it or anything. It just always, it's always on.
I do remember when it come out on VHS, come out sell-through price, and you had me run down, pick one up, and you got a VCR and you put it on at the store, and it was on. You just kept playing it on over and over again. Everybody,
people at the store like a new movie that's popular and things like that. So I won't keep people entertained. And, it's a long day in the kitchen. I won't be. There's funny things. I mean, it's a rewarding experience in general when somebody starts from the streets and ends up apprentice. That's always a good story, no matter what it is, whether it's a prostitute or just, a waitress. Like in some movies, it's a waitress, I think, that might end up being a prostitute just one night, but not like all the time, like in Pretty Woman. I guess she was. Well, she just started, I believe, if I remember correctly. She hadn't done it that much.
It's a little racy for kids, and so you'd have to stop it. When a kid come in the store, you'd have to fumble for the remote control. Either your hands covered in barbecue sauce or something. That's pretty funny. And then a man in the back drinking beer go, I ain't seen worse.
Well, that's true in nowadays and age. I mean, trust me, I ain't necessarily the subject matter, even though it teaches a lesson to become something better, which is good. I think a good message. But yeah, I think there's much worse things out there than Pretty Woman for children to look at, I think.
Capitalistic nonsense demonizing sex workers.
Right.
And patriarchal bullshit. Hector Elizondo's good.
That's what I like. I like it. I tell you right now, if it didn't have old Gere in it, I'd watch it twice as much.
You don't like Richard Gere?
I don't like him.
I get it.
He's just rich, showing off, gets what he wants.
Show up flexing. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be a comment on capitalism. Maybe I should rewatch it.
Watch it again. I mean, it's worth watching. If you say it, flipping like Valentine's Day, sometimes it's on other things. I mean, that's show it year round, really. If you got cable, flicks or whatever, if you hit the buttons go around enough, you're gonna stop on Pretty Woman. And there's worse things you can stop on. I'm just gonna say it like that. I ain't saying it's the best movie in a while, but it's worse things. So
that's Pretty Woman.
No, that ain't a sponsor. I'm saying Valentine's Day is over. So why would any sponsor I had that had to do with Valentine's Day, which of course I did, because it was the Valentine's Day Lovers Air Show. Yeah, the air show, I think it's Smyrna, right? Is where it was. Still is.
Smyrna Airport, yeah.
Now, the name should probably be
That
changed.
is basically, when I think of love, I think of the Smyrna Airport.
Well, it's a Valentine's Day Lovers Air Show. That's where they had it. Got to have an air show at the airport. And they had all sorts of things. They had FIA-18, Heartbreak, they all had Broken Hearts Team and Cupid's Parachute Club. And they did all the normal things that you do at an air show. But they also did little romantic things, like have little tables up front for couples. And they had a little thing. If it wasn't romantic enough for you, you could get you a little horse carriage ride. That's right. Like old lovers in the back seat, you and your special person sitting right there, and they horse trotting around. Nothing more romantic than that. And to have that offered at an air show, that makes it even more romantic, I think. But you had to run your mouth about it. And sure enough, you did it last week when we was talking about it. You said, how do horses be around the airplane? How's that happen? I said, well, and I didn't know for sure. I'll be honest. I did not know. I said, well, they're probably airplane horses, which turned out I was right. And I said, either that or some of the horses are deaf, which one of them is half deaf. But that ain't why. These are airplane horses that travel by airplane. So when you said that, when people got there, they said, well, I don't want to go on a carriage ride if that helicopter going to spook that horse. We're going to run off in the, Lord knows what way. He'll flip us over, everything else. And so people were apprehensive, didn't want to do it. And we said, well, there's nobody. We paid all this money to get these horses here and these beautiful carriages, some of which were from the actual time that they refurbished it, redid. You know what I mean? That took time and effort from an actual carriage from the 1800s. They had 2 or 3 of those that they spent thousands of dollars, had to be, to refurbish them and bring them up to speed and have them working. And I mean, these were nice, but not a soul would get in it. They'd say, well, why do people not want this romance? And sure enough, it's goes the same thing you see. I don't want to get in the horse, go crazy here, all that. But these were airplane horses, and they wanted to prove it to people. Said, no, you don't understand. Of course, how do you prove it to people? Well, you had an air show. You load them horses on the airplane, take them for a ride, take them up there, come back down, load them off. People were amazed. Couldn't believe it. Airplane horses, never seen it before. Loved it to death. Wanted to see it again, but that wasn't it. That wasn't enough. They said, well, we proved to you that the horses, it ain't spooked by an airplane. Obviously, it went for a ride, come back down. So please, by all means, get on that carriage, let that horse pull you around. They said, no. You just sold me an airplane horse, and you want that airplane horse to take me around in a carriage? Hell no. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $40, $45, $50, $65, depending on how long you want to be up there. I'm going to give you this money right here. I'm going to get on that horse, and I'm going to ride that horse on an airplane. Well, they couldn't push people away. The signs still say Valentine's, because they didn't have time to make new ones up or anything. It's still there, Smyrna Airport. Get you a horse ride on a plane. It's the thing. I'm telling you, people come out. You tell somebody that, and they can't believe, no, they ain't doing that. Sure enough, they are. Get down there, there's a cargo plane, load the horses in, got a saddle on the horse. You get on top of the horse, you ride that, ride that horse while the horse on the airplane. Nothing like it. People love it. And I'd never thought of it for myself. I never thought to do that. I mean, how could I? But that's a new idea that a lot of people are getting in their heads. And I tell you what, it's because of this place, and you can go do it. It's going to be there for at least for another week. And we'll see, depending on Smyrna Airport, whether they get the paperwork from the courthouse, all that worked out. It may be a permanent fixture. I don't know. You didn't hear that from me. But go on down to the Valentine's Day, even though it's Valentine's Day Lovers Air Show. Go out there, get on a horse, get on an airplane, ride around, come back down. Tell me it wasn't fun.
Jackie?
Yeah?
I have heard some dumb sponsors from you in my time. Some ignorant, and irresponsible ideas endorsed by you and broadcast to our faithful listeners. But this sounds great. It sounds romantic as hell.
You can get two people on, like, depending on the size of you and your partner. And that ain't no judgment call. I'm just saying that's just logistics. But you can get two people on a horse, and it is a lover's horse ride on a plane. You still, I know it ain't Valentine's Day anymore, but if you want the Valentine's Day treatment, you pay a little extra. You gonna get it.
Why would you go and not get the Valentine's Day treatment?
Well, because it ain't Valentine's Day anymore. But still,
sounds like it is up in that plane, up on that horse.
Yeah, it is.
I guarantee you,
it can be for the right price. Yeah.
Come about 9 months from now, Jackie, there's going to be a lot of plane babies in the Smyrna Murfreesboro area.
Horse plane babies.
Horse plane babies. Bumper crop. Valentine's Day treatment. Jackie, I tell you what, you got a little Cupid up in you, I think, because it sounds like this idea is about like taking an arrow and a bow and from a little baby or whatever it is, just shooting at you. I mean, to me, you really capture the Valentine's Day spirit. Finally, a week late, but
it wasn't my idea. I didn't come up with it. It's just what it is. I'm just doing my sponsor like a photo. They give me $25. I sit there and do my sponsor. I just did it, and I like it. Yeah, it's a good time. I'd get up there if I was you.
Love is in the air and on a horse, both at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
I can't top that, Jackie, but I'm going to try. I have a few corrections. Already it's sort of a letdown.
Corrections?
Well, just a couple of corrections, just real quick. Last week I talked about TT Slot, our sponsor, who was back with Pleasure Kitchen Services and a new book, From Sex Worker to Six Winkers. And she said the way that I said the title of the book made it sound like she was saying sex work was worse than anything else she's done, from bottled water magnate to local politics to owning six squatting winkers, a chain of them across Tennessee. So from sex worker to six winkers.
That sounds like someone watching Pretty Woman to me, but that's all I got to say.
Well, you love Pretty Woman, but you just not love TT Slot. I get on here and say, well, TT Slot's doing this.
I'm giving her credit. Now, I didn't say it. Sound like somebody watching it for the good reasons, the right reasons, which is, like I said, it is a good and right movie.
Well, she's saying your reasons are stupid. Like, come doing bad to doing good. Well, sex working is good. She said you got an old-timey attitude that harms people, harmful.
I did.
TT Slot so I got to say it a different way, from sex worker to also six winkers, with sick wankers of local politics and slot water and slick twatters. And there was a whole thing, and she finally just cut it down from sex worker to six winkers.
I don't know if that's any better, honestly, but okay.
From sex worker to six winkers. I mean, she's really, if you hadn't been to a squatting winker lately, it's definitely got the slot touch. And everything she does is usually a success for at least briefly. And which brings me to another correction I have to make. Last week, I talked about the love sandwiches that TT Slot and Pleasure Kitchen Services were serving up out of the back storerooms of the Squatting Winker, where she has.
I don't want to hear all that again. If you're going to get into that, I heard enough last week.
Well, I have to legally. I have to. She has some top flight Nashville lawyers who are. Go way back with her. Pleasure Kitchen Services, you'd Ghost Kitchen to make love sandwiches, which, if you recall last week, Jackie, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I inferred that you had sex with these sandwiches.
I told you I didn't want to hear it again. I heard it last week.
I said that there were slick parts and tight little crevices.
Enough.
Firm, crusty parts of the bread. Whatever you wanted to rub, or slide, or insert, or get up in it. Like, it was there for you to fuck.
Just shut it.
And I guess what happened was maybe I was horny and maybe I was hungry. But I misunderstood. These were just regular sandwiches.
Why?
Just regular sexy ass sandwiches.
Oh, enough.
That taste delicious. When I said they taste delicious, I said just eat it. Just go to town eating that sandwich. I did say that, but I think I was saying it in a way that made it sound like you were going to eat out that sandwich. And which you can look. TT says I gotta get on here. She's not ashamed of sex work, and she's not ashamed of using sandwiches. But this is not that. And she says it's just going to confuse the brand. Love sandwiches. TT Slot loves sandwiches. That's what it is. Not TT Slots love sandwiches. But I guess I just saw that sandwich. I got turned fucking on. I don't know. I misunderstood. I didn't take notes.
All right.
I spilled some Fresco on this pad of paper I got here with all my notes on it. It's my fault for drinking Fresco, I reckon. Send me to Fresco jail, I guess. So these love sandwiches are not for fucking officially.
Hey!
But I got to tell you, I had a good time with mine.
All right. I don't want to hear about it. Nobody else wants to hear about it.
Well, no, hold on, Jackie.
Just regular sandwiches. That's your sponsor, regular sandwiches.
TT Slots, love sandwiches, regular sandwiches. But
you just eat them. That's it. Nothing else. I don't want to hear about anything else. I don't want to hear about anything else.
Delivery drivers who... I know somebody who, when the pandemic hit, they started baking bread. And I pitched them my idea, and they said, you know what? Yeah, okay. And although TT Slot is legally requiring me to clarify that these sandwiches, her sandwiches, are not for fucking, she might bankroll me on this if we come up with the perfect fuck sandwich. And that's what we're working on.
No,
I got a lab, you know, Eminem's lab is a pad and a pen wherever he is. My lab is down here in Granny's basement when she's not home with some folks making some bread and figuring out the sexiest, juiciest condiments that will turn you on.
All right. Just enough.
And I think we're nearly there, Jackie. I
don't care. I don't want to hear about it.
All I got, the biggest obstacle right now is I keep coming down with mustard dick.
Just shut it.
I mean, I think we're trying. I think it's going to clear up. I don't know. I don't have any sort of medical advice because doctors stopped seeing me a long time ago. I don't have any sort of reason, any sort of scientific reason to believe that might clear up. But
just you deserve it, whatever it is, for acting like a damn heathen. You deserve whatever's on there.
Hey, nobody deserves mustard dick.